Hey guys, wanted to give another progress update on this tank setup. I have started on the plumbing. Here is the return. Obviously I'm not finished, but I'm like 80% done. There's the gate valves that will be used to do the ultra silent method. The middle one is the overflow pipe. Obviously there's no gate valve on it. They are all straight down pipes. So the water flow it'll be at peak, just straight gravity fed right into the sand bed filter. I should get really good fluidization. On the sand bed I might actually get too much fluidization and have to use a really coarse sand, so the water pressure doesn't actually push all the sand completely out of the filter. Here's the return. It's got a clear PVC tube going up and connecting to the bulkhead, then coming up. And again, that is also a straight return. I didn't need to do anything braided or any like nice expensive PVC tube like what I got over here, because it's going straight up and down, so I won't ever have to worry about kinks. It'll be fine the way it is. So a little discussion on what's actually going on with the plumbing other than the bottom. Here, well actually this last bulkhead that I'm pointed at right now, this actually gave me a lot of problems. I think it might have been slightly factory defect. It's still usable as a bulkhead, it's just I really cut my hands up pretty bad. The threads underneath here for the lock nut were all messed up, and the lock nut just gave me tons and tons of problems. It was just a real pain in the ass to tighten. Then the top of it's threaded, so getting this in here was a pain in the ass. Matter of fact, I totally destroyed one of these because I couldn't get it but maybe, I don't know, not an eighth of an inch threaded in without it, like, I was torquing on it with all these frickin' wrenches here so hard that it was actually compressing the rubber grommet here to the point of destroying it, because it would just spin the damn bulkhead. And the only way I could get it out was via a Dremel, excuse me, and going in there and just sawing it completely out. So I destroyed one of these, which sucks because these are almost $3. And then this one I actually had to destroy as well because it was threaded as well, but I took my Dremel and just sanded off the threads and flopped it in this hole and then cemented it down with PVC cement. This one's threaded and this one's threaded, and that was supposed to be threaded. The idea for having those threaded versus just cemented straight in was so if I ever decided to do something in the future more extravagant, then I could just unthread them and put something new in, where instead of trying to break PVC cement, which I just won't be doing now. So hopefully whatever return I come up with for the top of it is what I want, because I'm pretty much going to be stuck with, well, I mean, I could put in little joint receivers in here. Well, I could do what I'm doing over here. So let me explain what I'm doing over here first. On the return, because I have a few ideas on how I want the sump pump to flood in, right now it's just going to be real basic. Excuse me. It's going to come up, it's going to come up, tee off, okay? Let me show you here. It'll tee off. Have one of these. I gotta put the camera down real quick. me throw this together right quick and just basically show what it's going to be. I don't have any of these compressed together, so it's too fat and wide right now. But basically what that's going to do is that's going to go in there, and then it's going to tee, and the water's going to run out from the corners, and basically the water will flow out from the edges of both tanks. So that'll be right now, the immediate, when I get the turtle in here and everything else. What's going to be in the future, I'm thinking of possibly putting a water, like how I was describing that there's going to be a cage on top of this for the turtle to come out of, more so in the middle. Well, on this side, I'm going to eventually have the cage be the entire top as well. So I'm going to raise this pipe up completely out of the tank and have it be a waterfall system coming down, going through a little creek, you know, and going in, just kind of like having a little landscape there. So I wanted this to be changeable. So what I did is I cemented it down here, then I have it come up into a cement that is a slip thread coupler, and then I have this threaded coupler in here. So when I put this in here like this, I will be able to actually untwist it, take the whole thing off, and put in a new, twist in a new one of these into it and do my waterfall. So that's the whole point behind this, is basically interchangeable. That was also the point behind doing the same thing down there, just at the bulkhead level, instead of having the extension here. This was actually a slit bulkhead, so it wasn't a threaded bulkhead. When I did my Piranha tank, I just happened to order extras because it was my first project. So I had an extra one of these, decided to use it instead of buying another one. So if I wanted, I could come over here and do the same thing, have an extension come up, go into a slip thread so I could interchange the top. That might be something that I'll do. That probably will be what I'll do, just because I want this to be upgradable as I'm going through. I just don't want it to be permanent. I want to be able to manipulate it, add more, take away, and do whatever I want. If I get rid of the turtle, or if I change to a different type of fit, just whatever. I want to, excuse me, I want to be able to have maximum upgradability, and that's what I'm trying to go for here. So, yeah, there she is, so far, anyway. Again, only real problem I had was just, I think, a factory design defect from the bulkhead. I could have probably sent it back if I wanted to. I decided to just get the Dremel out and deal with it. So there we have it. 2 gate valves into the fluidized sand bed filter, from the fluidized sand bed filter through the sand trap, down into the fluidized bioball system, in the very back corner there through that hole, and filling up that to the internal waterfall here, down into my landscape refugium, over to the grate in the side, filling up the sump pump chamber, from the sump pump up to the return, and then back out into the tank. Getting close, guys. Getting close. I'm kind of getting excited, getting a little impatient. I gotta remember to slow down and do things right sometimes. So hopefully I don't have any more hiccups and this goes really fluid. All right. Take care, guys.